Hey everybody, hello and welcome into a Wednesday edition of the Computer America Show. We've got a great program lined up for you tonight. Of course, in hour two, we'll have computer technology news brought to you by Slimware Utilities, the official optimization software of Computer America. And in the first hour, it's Open Mic Night. Yes, Mike Cermak with TechGuy.org is here. And we're going to have an interesting show. We're going to talk about something really interesting. It's basically something called NoIP.com. It talks about the dynamic IP addresses pointed to a static host name for easy remote access. We're going to be talking about that in the.
I understood some of those words.
Yes, you did. And it's going to be an interesting show. So sit back, relax, enjoy the program, and we'll get started momentarily.
3 minutes until showtime.
All right. I'm going to go into the chat room. I think everybody should get into the chat room. I think Mike's already in there. Say hi, everyone. Hi, all. And on lunch. Okay, and there we go. Okay. Okay. Oh, wow.
You're right there.
I think he almost broke himself. Superconductor, strongest magnetic field. Oh yeah. Just interesting news stories. That's what we're looking for. Interesting.
Minutes until showtime.
Please, no more stories about squirrels with big fluffy tails.
What? Those are the best.
I know.
You're supposed to be on my side, Mike. You're in.
No.
Oh, my bad.
My side. We did a story about a squirrel who had a huge tail in ratio to body, like it had the largest tail of any mammal compared to its body length, and apparently it also ate the hearts of deers. Like it would jump on their back and kill them and eat them.
What the heck?
I know, and then Craig's like, yeah, I don't want to do that. I'm like, what?
It's not a
I
technology.
don't understand how you get that. Yeah, the technology thing is a problem with
It's
it.
science and technology. It's so related.
He got it from Popular Science's website, so he thinks that's not science.
Yes.
Like, okay.
I wonder how Reading Rainbow did.
Yeah, I don't know how I feel about that.
Really?
Yeah, is that bad? Am I a terrible person?
No.
I love the rainbow. I love the song. I love the guy.
Time.
I don't know. It just feels like a way to make money for a commercial enterprise.
Geordie LaForge at the helm.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, it was for profit back on PBS, like when it first came out.
Or is it Kunta Kinte? Was it Geordie LaForge or Kunta Kinte? I wasn't sure.
LeVar Burton.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, you're right.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, it's got its 5 million, so it ended.
Is that
So it has $5.4 million. It's a lot of ching.
We're getting ready to start, so I guess
Okay.
well, I know you don't care.
I said okay. I'm just saying there's a countdown.
Hey, he's ready. He's
He's ready. Okay.
Whoa. Get pumped.
Your show will go live in 5
Five.
seconds. 4, 3, 2, 1.
Broadcasting live, it's America's longest-running national radio talk show on computers, Computer America, hosted by national columnist Craig Crossman. Look for Craig's weekly column in your favorite newspaper. This show is being beamed nationwide at ComputerAmerica.com. Keep it here for technology news, computer products, guest interviews, and your phone calls. You're listening to Computer America.
Hello and welcome into the Computer America Show. It's the nation's longest-running, nationally syndicated radio talk show on computers. Computer America is heard around the world and coast to coast. And I'm your host,
Craig Crossman.
And I'm your co-host, Ben. I don't know, the evil booming trailing off laugh just doesn't match. It's
No, it didn't.
but okay, it's a thing.
It was okay. It was a thing. I mean, we have all different kinds of things that we start off with. But anyway, Welcome into a Wednesday edition of the Computer America Show. Always excited to do Wednesdays. It is open mic night. Anything goes, and we have some interesting topics. And, of course, now remember, it's a short week this week. Tomorrow's going to be the last show of the week because, obviously, Friday is the 4th of July. So we'll have a best of Computer America show for the 4th of July. Hopefully you'll enjoy that. And then we'll be back, of course, on Monday. Hopefully all of you have some 4th of July weekend planned. The entire Crossman family is here. The
entire Crossman clan.
Yes, Ben's brother is here, Aaron. And let's see, what else is going on? Aaron's here. He has his roommate here. He's got his girlfriend here. So it's going to...
And their dog, and their hamster, and their turtle,
dog, and their hamster. Look at the whole...
Pet rock.
Yeah, the pet rock. Everything is here. And I guess we'll shoot up some fireworks for the 4th of July. And let's see what else.
Yeah, be true Americans.
True Americans, exactly.
Because you're not a true American if you don't blow something up on 4th of July.
Exactly. Okay. So it is open mic. Now, what that means is that if you any questions about computers and technology, that you may have, something that's puzzling you, whatever, you can give us a call at 347-884-8881. 347-884-8881 will get you on and get you through. Email is live, L-I-V-E, at computeramerica.com. You can also join us in our live interactive add-on chat room from our homepage. Right there at the top, you'll see there's a button that just says chatroom/video, and just click that, and that will take you to our chat room page. It'll ask you for a username. You can put that in. That's the name you'll be known by when you go in there. Click the sign-in button in your Java-enabled browser on a Windows machine, Mac, or Linux. They all work. We'll move you into the Computer America chat room. Also, sharing that very same page is our live Computer America video streaming page, which is brought to you by Otherworld Computing. Quality products, expert support since 1988. Please visit them at their website at macsales.com. They got a lot of things going on over there at macsales.com. They've got, this is interesting, they have hard drive upgrades for the PlayStation 4. The PlayStation 4, that's right. It's really interesting. But not only that they have that, you go to the OWC website and just search for put PS4 in there, and you'll find it. They have two drives. They have a 1.5 terabyte and a 1 terabyte. Now the 1 terabyte drive, it's only $115. But not only is it the hard drive, get this: you get the hard drive, you get a flash drive stick to transfer. You've got an external case if you want to reuse the existing. You can use it. They even give you the screwdriver. I mean, it's this entire kit, everything there for $115, and free shipping because it's over $45. So you get the free ground shipping, no extra charge. And this particular drive, by the way, is a hybrid drive. It's the hard disk drive and a solid-state drive built into one unit. So your PlayStation 4 is going to scream when you get something like that. It's going to really. Now they have another one too, the 1.5 terabyte drive. Exactly. That's not a.
Not a hybrid.
Yeah, not a hybrid, but they give you the screwdriver, the flash memory drive, the case, everything, and that goes for $145 for a 1.5 terabyte drive. Both of them terrific dollars. Just some of the great stuff that you can find at Otherworld Computing. Check them out. Head over to Macsales, macsales.com, and check out all the bargains that they have there. I mean, go there first before you buy elsewhere. Okay. In the meantime, we've, as I said, it's open mic night, and we've got the video, and now all we need is our guest, and of course our guest is standing by. If you're watching,
waiting patiently in the wings.
Yeah, if you watch live, the live streaming video, you'll see him right there. He's the one right next to Ben. Since they both have beards, I can't say he's the one with the beard. But Mike Cermak is the owner-operator of TechGuy.org, which is a website dedicated to helping others with their computer problems and answering their questions. If you're looking for free technical support, TechGuy.org is the right place for you to go. It's been around since 1996, and Mike's site is completely run by volunteers and paid completely by donation. Paid for by donations and sponsors, and Mike is also one of our Computer America correspondents who appears here on every first Wednesday Madness of the month. Mike, welcome into Computer America. How the heck are you?
I am doing very well. How about you guys?
Oh, just laughing
Doing
and
good. Laughing and scratching. I have a question.
yes.
I'm sitting down and
Okay.
prepared. to
Yeah, let's hope we can answer it. Okay. Sponsors and donations.
Correct.
What else is there?
You are well. The other things are premium services. For example,
Oh, okay.
we charged for the service.
Okay.
So like Microsoft's.
Gotcha. I gotcha. Okay now.
Yeah. Not everything in this world is free, Ben. I know you young people think you can just download anything without paying for it, but back in my day. No, is that not quite right?
I hear enough from Craig. I'm sure the old days were awful and troublesome and hard, but okay, just had him. It wasn't clicking in my brain, but we got it now. We're okay.
Hey, no worries, man. Yeah, so and that's the way we've always run. We've never charged for the services. It's completely free. People go in there, post their questions, whatever kind of trouble they have for Windows, Mac, Linux, whatever. A lot of it is virus related, but not all of it. We certainly help with Office and everything else. So you post for free, and if you want to make a donation because we're so awesome, you're welcome to do it, but you don't have to. And there's no benefit really if you do make a donation. You don't get your questions answered faster or anything like that. It's all the goal is to be a free service and a community for people to help.
Yep, exactly. I'm saying hi to everybody in the chat room. It's really kicking up there. And I see, there's Mike. And also, Mike Cermak, by the way, is in the chat room, and we certainly love to see you in there. Again, from our homepage, it's real simple to get in there. Right at the top of the homepage, you'll see it says chat room/live video. So you can just click on that button. The chat room and the live video share the same page. We wanted it that way. So the first thing you'll see is the live video stream, which you can go, and then right beneath that is the chat room asking you for your username. And if you read it, it's very clear. It's hard to miss, but sometimes people do. But it asks you for a password. You don't need a password, and it tells you right on that page that the chat room password is completely optional. It's only when you want to reserve your name so nobody else can take it, then you put in a password and then it'll remember it, and that's what that's for. But if you don't, aren't concerned about it, just put your username in, whatever it is, and just click the sign-in button, and you're in. It's just that simple. And this Java enable. Hate Java. I can't stand it. It caused me more grief. Causes more grief, but there it is.
So we crossed the line where Java, now we're just openly hostile to it. Before we were reserved and or ambivalent to it. Now we're just openly hostile towards Java.
Well, we've been promised by, we actually had one of the chat room moderators from Add-on Chat who listens to the show, and he came on and said, we are working on an HTML5 version of our chat room, so stand by. So I'm waiting for it.
Yeah, it'd be nice.
Yeah, it would be nice. Okay. You don't have to be an HTML programmer to do, most everything you do these days. However, if you know a little bit of the code, it certainly comes in handy. Case in point, we use something called 123 Contact, which is part of our registration forms, and we're making some changes, again, because Ben didn't like it the way it was. And so we made changes to it.
I'm just unhappy with everything, apparently.
Yes, everything we do. We've been doing it for 25 years this way, but he's unhappy with it. I'm fine with that. He made some very good suggestions, so we're making changes. But one of the things, I couldn't put a carriage return. I couldn't put a line feed in there. Every time I would hit the return or the enter key on it wouldn't go down. It would just be all concatenated in one long line. And finally, I got their tech support people. And you can't talk to them because they're in the Netherlands somewhere. You have to chat with them, and that's frustrating unto itself. But finally, explained to them what we were trying to do, and they said, "Oh, well, if you use HTML codes and you put a bracket, was it a greater than, less than, and put a little letter B in there, that'll and an R, that'll do a break, and then it'll put that." And so I put that in, and it works. So it does come in handy. Then I can boldface some of the typing and do some things. They should make it so anybody can do it, but sometimes a little HTML coding knowledge certainly is helpful. So anyway, I asked Mike, what would you like to talk about in this first hour? And by the way, even though we're talking about this topic, if you have something else you want to talk about, you certainly can call us at our 347-884-8881. But
whereas me being on the show completely takes away any technical credibility we may have, Mike brings it back in spades. So
I try a little bit.
Yeah.
I've heard of computers before.
Yes, exactly. And I know you want to talk about noip.com a little bit, and we have some callers coming in, but I want to ask, just let's get this started, and then we can go to the calls. What is noip.com? What is this?
Yeah, so noip.com has been in the news quite a bit recently, and I have a lot of customers who've been asking about it recently because of some problems. So to give people who aren't familiar with it a little bit of an introduction, it's a service similar to Dyn DNS, and there's several other ones out there. It's one of the most popular ones out there, has almost 2 million users, I believe. And the way it works is that you can go in there and set up a host name. For example, you can have computeramerica.noip.org, or they have dozens of other domain names you could pick, but it would be whatever you pick dot one of their available host names. And then the reason you would do that is then you can have that point to one of your home computers or some other computer somewhere else. The idea is that, for example, if you had a home security system or a surveillance system, a camera, or if you had files shared on your home computer, or you wanted to run your own email server, or whatever you wanted to do, if you wanted to run some kind of service from your home computer, instead of accessing it through an IP address, which is a real hassle, you can actually access it through one of these host names. Does that make sense?
Yes. Now the thing is, this is not like, let's say, some of the domain name server substitutes like OpenDNS. This is different.
Right, this is different. So services like OpenDNS are going the other direction. They are so that your computer can find internet provider or websites out on the internet. This is so that computers outside of your network can find your network. So if you were running your own server for some reason, if you're running your own mail server, I have customers, for example, I've got a customer who runs their own FTP server. It's a photo client, a client that actually prints photographs, and they have their own FTP server so that photographers can send photos to them directly. And to be able to do that, they, on one of their computers in their office, they actually have FTP software running, and they have their client, instead of connecting to that computer via the IP address, which is messy and changes periodically and is a hassle, they have an IP address, photoprinting.noip.org. By the way, that's not really it. Someone may have that, I'm sorry. But whatever it is, it's whatever they chose, .noip.org or one of the other ones. There's like I said, a couple dozen choices you have of that. And then they can just tell their photographers to connect to FTP to that site instead of having to give them a long line of IP address.
Okay.
So, and it's a free service too. They have free available and premium ones both. So.
Okay. So this is so since they offer a free service, why would someone want to use the free service?
Well, why would they not want to use the free service? Why would they want to pay? Is that really what you're saying? Yeah. Well, the free service has the bad sign that every month or every 3 months you actually have to tell them that you're still using it. So it's kind of a hassle factor that you have to log into their website and say, renew it, renew it, renew it. You can use it for free, but you got to remember to log in to do that. They send you a reminder email, but it's really cheap to buy the premium service where you don't have to do that. It's like $10 a year or something like that. I don't remember.
Okay. All right. So now, so basically there was some controversy associated with this no IP.
And another thing, some routers and external hard drives actually have this service built into it. I should have mentioned that. That's how some people might be familiar with it. Some external hard drives, if you get like some NAT storage devices, like I don't know what brands do, but like a Western Digital, big external hard drive that connects to your network. Some of them will have no IP or services like it built into it, so that then you can connect to those files remotely. If you're at a different building or whatever, you can connect into it. So it's used by a lot of people. It's a huge service. And so the controversy that has arisen is that Microsoft sued them. It turns out that not just good guys were using the service. Shockingly, there were people who were using it for malicious reasons. They had malware that they had connecting to their servers through this service, and that's not really surprising. That happens on the internet. You have a free service. Inevitably, someone's going to find a way to abuse it. And the way Microsoft dealt with it is that they sued them, and in a court of law, they won. The judge signed off on this takedown that allowed Microsoft to take over 22 of the domain names,
wow.
which impacted millions of users, because it was a couple thousand domain host names that were affected. It was malware.noip.org, for example, and a couple thousand like that. But instead, they took everything.noip.org and all the other related domains. So not only are the bad guys out, but all the good guys are out too. So it's a big controversy going on, and it's, on Twitter there's the hashtag #FreeNoIP, and it's a big thing happening right now.
Wow. Okay. So, and you say this has impacted some of your clients, you're saying, as well?
It is, yeah. We have a lot of clients who are using NoIP and now have to switch to a different host name that Microsoft didn't take over, and it's a big hassle, and it's affected some of their businesses, and a lot of other people are complaining about it. And it's kind of gotten into the controversy that, legally, of course, everything was done on the up and up. Microsoft had the legal right to go to court and for the judge to sign off on this and take over the domain name. And in the past, that seems like a somewhat sensible thing to do. It seems strange on one hand that a judge, without having an actual trial where you can defend yourself, the judge can sign over and say, until this goes to trial, the guy suing gets to take over the domain. That seems counterintuitive in one sense, but on the other sense, it's kind of worked well in the past, where if you have someone who has malware.com, that's probably a real domain, but you know what I mean, if someone's running malware on some domain name, that they can pretty quickly take that over, and that's great, that's what we want. But in this case, it impacts millions of legitimate users. It's not just taking down the bad domain, because there's all these other host names that are within it. And so there's a lot of discussion saying the judge shouldn't have made this decision, that it impacts too many people. He just probably didn't understand it. He probably thought it was like every other domain name.
You mean the decision was too sweeping? In other words,
yeah, I think it really was. I think that either it was done without enough thought into it, thinking this was just like all the other ones, just sign the paperwork, or perhaps he just didn't understand the internet well enough to know what the service is and how it's used.
And we see that so much because you have these people who are judges who usually or come from a legal background, and know law, but they don't understand.
Anyone who legislates, especially.
Yeah, they don't understand necessarily all the technology behind it, and that can cause things like this to happen.
Right.
So, one of the big ones I can think of was when lawmakers in Washington D.C. were like, we're against child porn and child porn needs to be eradicated. Google, you need to do more to take down child porn. And it's like Google already in their
algorithms.
They already delete all things pointing to involving with child porn. They already do all that kind of thing. They are a zero tolerance service. They didn't need any lawmaker telling them what to do, but then apparently they thought, well, but it's not, if you can't Google it, therefore it's not on the internet. That's all there is to it.
Well, and it's as if there's not other search engines and other ways to find it. One thing that was interesting, that was even controversial when it happened, related to that, is that Google put in place, and may still have in place, if you search for certain terms related to child porn, they would give you suggested links of getting help for that problem. Which was kind of interesting, but some people didn't like that, saying, well, that's an invasion of whatever. Google shouldn't be analyzing my queries. It should just be giving me my results and all that kind of stuff.
We need to protect all the child pornographers out there.
Right. Exactly. I don't know if there were a lot of people on that side of the argument, but
that would be a hard one to argue. But it's just like people who, sometimes those who have to make the call, make the judge, and make the judgments, be it judges, legislators, whatever, they don't have the technical grasp, and it sounds like, Mike, that's what you're saying. What happened here? They don't really have the technical grasp, and they think they're doing right, but they really don't know what they're handing over.
Yeah, I think that was part of it. And so the other side of this controversy is that a lot of people are pointing out Microsoft said that they intended for all of the legitimate domains to stay up and running. When they took over these domains, they claim, and some people think they're lying, but they claim that they had intended for all these legitimate ones to keep working and only to block the bad ones. And they are, making the apparent statement that they were unable to handle this much traffic. I think they underestimated how much traffic actually goes through these domains, and they claim they're working to be able to get those up and running again. But this happened yesterday, and these people are still down. I mean, a day and a half in internet time is forever. I mean, it's crazy. And so there's a big statement from the COO of NoIP on there about it, and that they're working with their attorneys and trying to get these up and running, and what you can do in the meantime to switch to another host and another one of their domains. And it's really been a mess for people. So the controversy is that should a company be able to go in there and take over a domain name without there being a court trial? And did Microsoft overstep their bounds by even requesting this? And did the judge overstep his bounds by approving it?
I understand. All right, 347-884-8881 is the number to trying to get you through. We're going to go to Upper Central Michigan, I guess Mount Pleasant, Saginaw, that area. And let's go to our caller there. Computer America, Craig Crossman. Hi. Welcome to the show.
Hello there.
Hi.
This is Lunchbox. I figured I'd try a different route today.
Hi, Lunchbox. How are you?
I'm doing all right. I actually have a couple questions for you before I have a question for your guest today.
Mike, okay.
I was wondering, is there a way to contact you folks after the show to discuss things, you and Ben?
Yeah, we can give you Ben's phone number.
No, even though Craig doesn't really do it, just how Craig always reads it at the top of the hour, live at computeramerica.com. Even if you send it during off-show hours, we still get them and we still read them, and we'll take care of them as soon as we can get them.
Yeah, send us an email at live@computeramerica.com, and that's the best way to reach us. Okay. And your other question?
Okay, because I've been sending emails and no one's responded. That's why I was wondering.
To live@computeramerica.com. You've been sending emails?
No, I sent it to Ben and the other address that Ben gave me.
No, send it to live@computeramerica. We have all kinds of filters and things. We don't really. We just get swamped. We would really do this. So send it to live@computeramerica.com, and we will get that. Okay. What else? What's your other question? What's your other question?
My question for the guest or host is I've been building computers for 20 years, and I'm pretty fluent, and I've been a technician for a long time, and I've ran into this problem that's perplexed me for a while now. And I've checked just about everything I could think of, and the problem is that I will get on a website, CNN, and get on their forums where there's a conversation going on. And other websites like this where, a lot of typing's involved. And I'll notice that over time, my typing, the text on the screen will slow down to a crawl and not keep up with what I'm typing. And I've checked my keyboard, even though the keyboard's junk. I've tried different ones in the past. I've checked my hard drive. I've checked my RAM. I've checked my CPU. I've even reinstalled the operating system. I was wondering if you might know what would be causing this random slowdown to the point where it eventually escalates to the point where it almost cripples my computer.
Your computer is getting Alzheimer's.
Not so much.
No, I don't think so. Well, the first thing I would do is try to narrow down the issue. So, you said it happens when you notice it on forums and things like that. I would try, in Word and type up, a couple paragraphs or whatever it usually does it and see if you see the same problem there to try and narrow it down if it's within a particular program or not. And of course you can try another browser to see if that's an issue, and as you mentioned, a different keyboard even. If it's a wireless keyboard especially, it would be worth trying another keyboard, but I would tend to think that it's probably something more specific to a program software versus hardware.
Would you think maybe the drivers is going bad?
No,
not really for keyboards. Sorry, Ben.
I was just thinking, I've had that happen to me too, and it sounds a little like and I have no grounds for what I'm about to say, but it sounds like the RAM you have allocated to, whatever browser you're using is getting full. You said it happens after a while and after a lot of typing and things like that. Like I don't want to say your RAM's getting full, but it's just using so many resources, and it only allows your browser to use so much. As it goes on, I'm sure if you restart the browser completely and open it back up again, it'll clear itself, and then I'm sure if you clear cookies and all that kind of thing, it'll speed right back up.
No, I've trust me, I've tried that. I've cleared out everything in my browser. I've tried different browser. I actually have tried Word. The same thing happens in Word. I've checked for malware. I've checked for viruses.
Tell us about,
and that's why it's perplexing me.
Tell us about your computer. How old is your computer?
I'm running a i5 2500K processor with 16 gigabytes of 1600 RAM.
And which operating system? Which OS are you using?
I'm running 7 Ultimate, 64-bit, of course. because when you're running 16 gigs, you run 32.
16-bit, right? Now I'm playing. The other thing I would try to do is if you open up Task Manager before the problem starts and then reproduce it, so that you can kind of watch those graphs and see what it is that's starting to slow down, if it's the memory that's peaking or the CPU that's peaking, or in Windows 7 you can even go to Performance Monitor and monitor hard drive usage. That might help narrow down your bottleneck as well.
Also, there's no peaks or spikes. I checked that too. That's why I'm coming to you. It's like I've checked everything I can think of. I've ran passes on the memory. I have a solid state drive SATA 3.
Yeah, hard drive wouldn't matter. Yeah, if you're not getting any peaks on the CPU or memory, and you've tried another keyboard, I mean, there's not much else it could be.
Just throw away the whole computer and
Don't throw it away. It's definitely has to be software. I'm sure you've tried uninstalling, reinstalling, turning it off and on again, all that kind of stuff.
Right. I've uninstalled the operating system, and it'll fix the problem for a while. But after a while, the problem will crop up again after a month or two. It's really odd.
It's got to be some other program that's running on the computer. I've got to think. I agree with Ben. I think it's software.
With the Task Manager.
And that would kind of prove it as well. If whenever you reinstall, if that fixes it for a period of time, certainly that means it's software, not hardware. And you're not seeing any peaks.
Yeah, but I can't figure out what software would be causing is the problem.
Yeah, the only thing I could think of is, there's some. It's obviously got to be something that's reading your keyboard. So it's either something that like you mentioned, you already looked for malware, but for example, a malware program that is just lifting everything you type into your keyboard and sending it out somewhere, or there's also antivirus products that analyze everything you type in to be able to make sure that you're not typing in anything that would be privacy issues. Like there's parental control programs in Norton where you can say, alert me if I start typing in my personal address and things like that. But boy, that's a tough one. It's got to be some software, but if you're not seeing any peaks, it's going to be real hard to try and troubleshoot it. Other than going out instead of doing a reinstall next time, you have to go through and maybe uninstall each program one at a time. I would start with security programs and see if you can narrow down which one does it.
All right, thank you very much. I just wanted to make sure there was nothing I was missing in my troubleshooting. And
no, it's not something I've heard of, so not something I can point right to.
All right, well, Lunchbox.
Craig,
yes?
Craig, if you're going to send me that keyboard and mouse, can you send me a whole new computer while you're at it?
Me too.
Yeah, exactly right. Make everybody happy. Now, but the keyboard and mouse, I think you're gonna like it because I think they're actually sending you a solar-powered wireless keyboard, which is with the mouse. It's gonna be kind of interesting from Logitech. So,
a solar-powered?
Yeah, solar-powered.
You can only use it outside.
Panic-stricken recluse.
It works with. It works
with be horrible.
It works with incandescent lights. All right, Lunchbox. Well, thanks for calling. And if you do find the problem, obviously let us know. But listen, we gave you some direction to look. And, I'm sure if you keep looking through it.
I can't help but think it has to be something with because it sounds like a latency problem, and I've had that problem before. And usually what has worked for me is the whole disk cleanup in Windows, that whole utility, deleting all the cookies, going through your browser, just scrubbing it clean, maybe even reinstalling your browser.
Here's no one less than try some of the Slimware utilities. Give that a shot.
Them too. They'll do it too.
Use Slimware utilities and see if that'll help you. Lunchbox, we got to go. We're at the bottom of the hour, but thanks so much for calling the show. This is the Computer America Show on the Blog Talk Radio Network, on the Boost Radio Network, on the IRN Radio Network. Mike Cermak is here for the hour. It's open mic night. We'll be right back with him after this.
Hey everyone, have you heard about the No Hair Removal device that's sweeping the globe? If you want to go weeks without shaving and get smooth, professional quality results, here's our favorite host, Cheryl, for No Hair Removal.
Thanks. Hey gals, I love talking about my No. It's this cute little hair removal system that you can take with you and use almost anywhere at home or on the road. No more expensive in-office treatments, painful waxing, and no more wasting your valuable time. Got unwanted facial hair? No has patented thermocon technology that works on all hair and skin colors, so it's perfect for using on all body parts. And now you can take advantage of this incredible risk-free trial. Get the no-no, the facial kit, a travel case, and a $100 discount shopping card, and you don't risk a penny to try it. Try the incredible no-no hair completely risk-free. Call 1-800-953-5415. That's 800-953-5415. 800-953-5415.
Looking for a best friend? Brother Wolf Animal Rescue has your best friend waiting just for you. The mission is to protect and enhance the lives of companion animals and the people who love them. Their no-kill rescue shelter is open year-round, making it easy for people to adopt their best new friend. This year, Brother Wolf will find homes for over 2,400 orphan dogs, puppies, cats, and kittens. All have ended up as an orphan through no fault of their own. Brother Wolf has created a safe, nurturing environment where these special animals can heal emotionally and physically until they find a lifelong home. Their life-saving transport program brings dogs and puppies from overcrowded shelters in the south to rescues in the north where homes are easier to find. Brother Wolf Animal Rescue is a 501c3 organization. To learn more about their life-saving work and to make a donation, visit their website at www.bwar.org. That's www.bwar.org. Help to realize Brother Wolf's vision when no animal is euthanized for lack of a home.
Who's a good boy?
Hi, this is Marty Winston for Computer America with a News Tips Bulletin review of Maptitude. Sometimes a product turns out to be more useful than you could easily derive from the way it's presented, and such was the case with Maptitude. This is a GIS-based, Geographic Information-based map authoring application. It can feed on open sources like census data, or custom sources like many of the things you keep in spreadsheets. You specify a lot about the map it will present, the size, the scale, and lots more. The most impressive part is the wealth of alternatives you have for the look and feel of its output. It lets you add satellite imagery from online sources, adjust the transparency of layers, and customize just about every attribute of everything shown. In short, it makes maps a natural and graphical part of storytelling for just about any point you want to make that involves a place or many places or the distribution. It also makes it easier for you to visualize in a more visceral fashion the implications it portrays on the map. If this software special erudite would be of tremendous value to a very broad spectrum of end users. Bottom line, Maptitude software can be a powerful ally in making your point. This is Marty Winston at the News Tips Bulletin for Computer America.
Welcome back to the Computer America Show, 33 minutes past the hour. And yeah, thank you, Mr. Marty Winston. And you know, I guess that one will be playing all week. Always good advice, though. We are here with Mike Cermak, and we just got finished with our caller. And I think we should move back over to the no IP fiasco. And you know, we were just talking about how Microsoft didn't like what they were doing. You know, what some people were doing with the free service. So the free service got taken over by Microsoft because Microsoft has a lot of money and they could do that kind of thing. So you know, that kind of left a couple people high and dry. Are there, you know, is there something they can do in the meantime, or is everyone just sitting on their hands waiting, you know, for something to happen?
Yeah, you know, a little bit of both. A lot of people are sitting on their hands because we keep hearing every, 12 hours, we're working on something, we're going to have something worked out soon. Microsoft said that it was a technical glitch whenever they took over the domains, that they didn't mean to take them all offline. They had meant only to take a couple of them offline. And so they say they're working on getting them up and running. In fact, they made an announcement earlier today saying they're all up and running again. And then they said, oh, wait, no, they're not. And I have 2 no IP addresses, and they're not up and running. So in the meantime, a lot of people are just waiting and hoping and thinking, maybe tomorrow Microsoft will get this working. And in the meantime, a lot of people are going in. No IP has a statement on their website that has instructions on how to switch to a different host name that Microsoft didn't seize if you are affected by it, so that you can get up and running through a different host name.
Okay. So.
Yeah. Now, I know some people pay for the service and that kind of thing. I mean, do they only seize a certain number because that's where they thought most of the?
No, that's the real kicker. Is that even if you had the paid service, you were still in that group that was seized.
Wow.
Yeah.
That doesn't sound good. Or
that's
right even.
completely unfair.
Yeah. That really does cross the line. I think that. So what is their proposed? What do they plan to do, or can they do anything?
They say all they can really do is all No IP can do is start creating new domains that Microsoft hasn't seized, and everyone else is just waiting for Microsoft to release them. So we shall see. It's going to be an interesting battle.
Do you think they will release them?
I don't know if Microsoft is going to release the seized domains. I think they will long term. I think they're going to come to some legal agreement saying that, and this is just my speculation, completely made up, not based on any facts whatsoever. I think that they will require No IP to sign something saying we're going to go through these steps to help prevent our services being used for malware in the future. And we're going to set up this process that whenever you guys detect it, that within a certain period of time, we're going to take them down. And then I think they'll just release them back to No IP and try and get this whole fiasco behind them. Again, that's completely made up. I don't know that that's actually going to happen. And I haven't heard anything that that's going to happen, but that would kind of be my expectation.
Well, that would be the smart move, so that won't happen.
I don't think Microsoft has any interest in holding these domains forever. But who knows? They don't always do what I would expect them to do.
I think they would.
Sorry again, Craig. I just have to say something real quick, and that is, it's a free service, and and the ones who are using for ill will are probably using the free service. And if you know anything about online, if there's one free service out there, there's a dozen more just waiting to be used. Aren't they just going to flood to every other service out there?
They will. And so the argument is being made, who is Microsoft to be trying to take over the internet or restrict the internet or police the internet? That's the word I should use. But on the other hand, who else is going to do it? I mean, we don't want malware to be that rampant. If someone can do something to help keep it under control, then perhaps they should. And part of the lawsuit, part of the reason Microsoft did get to seize the domains was not just because they were being used for malware. That was part of it. Part of it was also because of copyright and trademark infringement. Some of these domains were using the Windows name and logo to try and trick people into using malware, mostly. So that was part of it as well.
They should have like a theme song for their campaign, to Microsoft, like "Release Me" or something.
I don't know that song.
You don't know that song, "Release Me"?
No, I think it came out in 1908. So,
Craig, was that you singing? Was that?
No, that's
back in your days?
That's Engelbert Humperdinck.
Oh, of course. I was singing Lady Gaga the other day. Should I get her a new CD or Humperdinck? So.
Yeah. All right, I got something fun here for you guys.
Okay.
I made this up for you. I've got a quiz for you. Are you ready for this?
Yes.
We're going to go back and forth. I'm going to let Craig start it, and then we'll go to Ben, and we'll see who's closer to these questions. I've got 7 questions for you. All right? And it's all about Microsoft versus the Internet.
All right.
Are you ready?
I'm ready.
So Microsoft had aimed to block 18,000 host names during this takedown around, with No IP. How many other customers were affected? Take a guess, Craig.
18,000 multiplied by.
They aimed to take down 18.
Carry the one. I would guess maybe 50,000.
All right, Craig says 50,000. What do you say, Ben?
Okay, well, if they aimed to take down 18,000 and it's Microsoft and they try to do something good, they missed the mark by a mile. So I'm going to say 250,000.
250,000. That's very close. Ben, you get the point. The correct answer is 4 million.
Whoa!
Yeah, so 4 million other customers were taken down. They were aiming to take down about 18 or 19,000 of them.
4 million, 18,000.
Margins. It's all
a factor
all relative.
10. Yeah.
All right, we got 7 total questions. Question 2. Are you ready?
Yeah, we really missed that one. Exactly. Okay, go ahead.
But Ben still got the points because he was closer.
That's true.
He was closer by, he was still off by 3.7 million, but he was closer. So
Okay.
We'll let Ben start the next one.
Next question.
All right, Ben. You're going to get to go first this time. The ComputerAmerica.com domain name was registered in 1996. When was Microsoft.com registered?
Microsoft.com. Without using Google.
Yeah, no cheating, Craig.
No cheating. I'm going to say it was registered in 87.
All right, Craig.
85.
And Ben, I'm afraid you're closest again. It was 1991.
Darn.
Okay.
50-50. It was either one way or the other. Okay.
I see your strategy there. I like that. The Ben, Craig, it's 2-0.
Yeah.
Listen.
All right, I like this.
Okay. All right. Number 3 here. And Ben, we're going to have you go again first because you got the last one right.
Sounds good.
Internet Explorer 11 requires 70 megabytes of hard drive space. 70. When it was released in 1995, how much space did Internet Explorer 1 use?
Internet Explorer 1? Oh, man. 2.3 kilobytes.
2.3 kilobytes. I like that. Okay.
No, I'd say I'll go 2.4 kilobytes. I'm going to go one above.
Oh, that's mean. That's cutthroat.
That is cutthroat. That's the way the game is played. The correct answer is 1.05 megabytes.
I win. Ding, ding, ding,
So
ding.
Craig gets a point.
Okay. I was figuring one. Okay.
All right, Craig. So you're going to answer first the next time. And when in 1995, when Internet Explorer 1 came out, what was the average hard drive size?
In what year?
1995.
The average hard drive size, 95. Hard drive, I would say maybe a megabyte, 2 megabytes. Make it 5 megabytes.
Is that your final answer?
Okay, yeah, I got this one in the bag then. Let's see, 95, that'd be about when my mom got me my first computer, although it was still technically hers, but I took it over. I think back then, I'm going to say the average size was either 256 megabytes or 512. Let's go with 512.
512?
You know, it would be safer. Craig said 5. It would be safer for you just to say 6. But I like that you're actually playing. You're not just doing the cutthroat thing. The correct answer is 540 megabytes.
Oh,
which puts Ben far and above.
Yeah, well, I was reading that my first hard drive on my Apple II was 20 megabytes, and that was incredible.
Oh, Craig, it's the Stone Age.
See, the problem is you're thinking of your first computer back in the 60s. We're talking about 1995 here.
Yeah.
All right, so that puts us Craig 1, Ben 3.
Okay.
And we've just got 3 more questions to go. So
right.
Craig, you got to pay attention here.
Okay, all right. Ben, you guys first.
Ford in the chat room says in 96 his Gateway had a 3 gigabyte. So he
fancy.
had a nice computer in 96.
Okay.
All right, so MSN, the Microsoft Network, was started as a dial-up service like AOL, but it's now just a web portal. How many people visit the MSN web page every month? In millions.
Now?
Yes, now.
Ben, you go first.
That's right.
Let's see. Now, well, you know, whenever something happens, MSN gets reset as a default web portal on my browser.
Good thought. I like the way you're going with this.
I'm sure a lot of other people accidentally have that happen as well. So I'm going to say every month, we're talking unique, I'm going to say 700 million.
700 million. And Craig?
Okay, 701 million.
That's so mean. It's so cutthroat. And the correct answer is 415 million.
Oh, darn.
So I win.
You went the wrong way. That gives Ben another point. We're 4-1. He's just cleaning up here. You've got just 2 more. I don't know if, maybe we'll give double points if you get it right on the money.
You know what? I am such a nice guy. If Craig gets 1 more, he wins.
Or maybe the final question should be extra points. I don't know. We've got 2 more. All right, so Ben, here's your next question. Google Chrome is currently the most popular browser on the internet. What % of internet users still use Internet Explorer as their primary?
Oh, I know this because I look at charts all the time. I think Internet Explorer is let's see, I think Chrome edged ahead by like 52 or 53 or 50, something like that. I think Chrome's still like high 30s, low 40s. I'm going to say 41%.
41% for Internet Explorer.
Yeah.
Okay, and Craig?
I'll go 42.
And the answer, according to the stats I have here, is 11%.
Oh, man.
I'm really off.
You were really off, and yet much closer than Craig. I love it. This is so cool. All right, so this is our final question.
All right.
So our score is currently 5-1. So our final question, as always, because this is the first time we've played it, is worth 5 points. See what I did there? That was funny. All right, Ben. So Google is the #1 most popular website on the internet. What number is Bing, owned by Microsoft?
Wait, what number is Bing in terms of search browser, or like
not in search engines, but websites in general?
Bing.com.
Yes.
Poor little Bing. Bing, who is only used for one purpose nowadays.
So, for example, Google is #1, Facebook is #2, YouTube is #3.
You're talking about the web page rankings. What was Bing? Bing was like high up there. I'm gonna say 57.
All right, and Craig? He's thinking about it. I like it. Remember, this is for the big prize, Craig. This is all the money.
They can it's either 56 or 58, so I'll go with 58.
Oh, Craig's not even trying.
Even when he tries to be cutthroat, it kicks him. See, if you try to be nice and give him some buffer space, maybe karma would help you, but the correct answer is 23.
Oh, man.
which is almost a sweep. That gives us 6-1.
Yeah.
With Ben as our winner on that.
Hey, Ben. Okay, you
Craig,
win.
see, that's the difference when doing the show. That's the difference between logic and gut feeling. Computers, it pays to be logical.
Yes, it does. And I was trying to be, but it didn't work.
That was kind of fun. I just whipped that up out of...
I like that. I would like it less if I lost.
If you hadn't won.
But I like it a lot.
Well, now you can hold that over him. You can say, remember that quiz.
Exactly. And he has a long memory, by the way. I can't hear him.
You win all of the internet today.
Yes,
you were the winner of the internet.
Yes, he did. Okay.
Except for the part that Microsoft seized. You don't win that part.
I'm sure that'll be allocated over the coming days and weeks. Back to people.
Some of the answers in the chat room are fun. Fort said that the percent of IE users is too blasted many.
You know, I hear that all the time because like Windows Explorer 8, 9, and even 10 weren't all that good. They were trying to figure out who they were. You know, they were in the in-between stage. But Internet Explorer 11, I actually like.
I don't mind it, but I don't know. And part of the problem is that there's so much malware that targets Internet Explorer. You know, nothing against Internet Explorer as a product or their security or whatever, but just the fact that it's so popular and it is the default browser. People are, if you're going to write a virus, you're going to aim for Internet Explorer. And I'm a Chrome guy myself. I still have Firefox, I still have Internet Explorer, but I'm a Chrome guy personally.
Yeah.
Me too. Chrome. Just the fact that you can get Chrome and then all your bookmarks and web searches.
Everything syncs across devices.
Love it.
Yeah, that's pretty sweet. And you can do a lot of that with Firefox as well, and there's programs, add-ins that have been available for a long time to do similar things. But it's nice just having it integrated and done, and and Google. Okay. I'm just scared because Google's taking over the internet.
No,
I'm making fun of Microsoft taking over the internet, but Google,
Really? Well, what's your favorite browser? I mean, my favorite browser right now is Firefox, and I'll tell you why. I like Firefox because it's the only browser still where I can see all my bookmarks on the left-hand side of the window. I can't do that with any other browser. I see all the bookmarks to the left. I can click on the ones that I want. Boom, 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 and it's done.
Let's do a quick survey in the chat room. How many people use bookmarks on a daily basis? I don't remember the last, and maybe it's just me. Ben, you chime in here.
Whenever I go,
bookmarks. In case I see something I really, don't have time for, I'll bookmark it real quick. But the bookmark usually gets deleted within the 24 hours.
Interesting.
But,
That's an interesting subject.
I mean, I have my bank bookmarked. I mean, in here. Actually, the ones that I really use, I have bookmarked. And again, for example, I have the Computer America website bookmark. I have Google. I've got Uma, that's my phone service.
See, it's things like that. It's things like that. But like, if I need to go to Computer America, I just go into the address bar and type in the letter C, and it automatically autofills to Computer America. If I need to go to my bank, I type in the first letter, it goes in. I know enough to type in like 2 letters, and it autofills, and that's enough.
That's exactly what I do, Ben. I don't remember the last time I used bookmarks or favorites, and apparently I'm in the minority here because everyone in the chat room is saying they use it every day. Apparently I'm just crazy. But exactly like you described, Ben, is if I want to go to a website, it's much faster for me to click in that address bar and type in 2 or 3 characters of that address and then hit enter than to go to bookmarks and find it and click on it.
But what if the 2 places that have the same first 3 or 4 letters? Then you have to
type in 5.
Yeah, I know.
Oh.
Bookmark is just a click, and you put your most used ones at the very top of the list, and it's so much easier to type. Just click that, than the.
We had the same argument with what's his name? The gentleman that we have on the show all the time. He writes all the books. And he has so many books.
Oh,
Michael Miller.
Yeah.
We had the same argument with him when we were talking about how kids today, them dang kids, don't wear watches because they'll have smartphones, and therefore if they need to look at the time, they just pull their phone out of their pocket, and then they they look at the time on their smartphone, so they don't need one strapped to their wrist. And of course, the fogey that Craig is like, no, it's much quicker to look at your watch. And I'm just thinking, again, it's just newer generation. You can whip out your phone real quick, look at it, and put it away in the time it takes you to look at your wrist.
No, yeah, do that when you're driving.
Well, no, I have a car.
Well, most cars have a clock built. Well, Craig still has one of those cars with what you have to start up using the winder in the front. You got to crank it in order to start it. But most of the cars today have clocks right in them.
Mm-hmm.
You wear a watch, Mike, or not?
I do not. No. And it's something I've thought about periodically. I've even bought some, cool watches that, sync to your phone and do different things, thinking, maybe that'll get me. And I have a thing. Part of it is that I don't like the bulk, and I just don't like having things clinging to me. Like I had a hard time even getting used to wearing a wedding ring, but I don't know what it is. I just always feel like it's going to get caught in something, and my fingers are going to get ripped off.
That must have gone over really well with.
And whenever I take it off when I'm going out of town, I swear it's just that I can't get used to it. Craig's car has a sundial.
Exactly. Just all these little arguments for, I don't want to say, antiquated, because, obviously people still use them, so it's not antiquated yet. But, I mean, there are ways to get around it, but I think it's just, if you learned it one way, and bookmarks were a big thing back in the 90s and early 2000s, because browsers weren't that advanced yet with autofill and things like that, bookmarks, it's just how your brain works with computers nowadays.
Yeah. Well, hey, apparently I'm wrong, because the vast majority, I don't even see anyone else on my side. Ben is trying to defend me a little bit, but still use bookmarks every day. And apparently I'm wrong on this one. I failed this one.
Do you use bookmarks, or do you type in?
Like I said, I don't use it for, I use Reddit all the time. And, and things on Reddit, there's a lot of reading to do. And if there's something I'm really interested in, but I don't have the time to read it, I'll bookmark the page real quick. But usually I'll come back within a couple hours or even the next day, read it, and then take the bookmark away.
I usually just leave the tab open, and then I have 100 tabs, and then eventually I say, I'm never going to read these, and just close them.
Yeah, I've done that before, but then I close it and I lose everything. But I don't bookmark, Reddit. I don't bookmark Google. I don't bookmark Computer America. I just go to them like a normal person. But that's just normal.
So you think it's a generational thing, Ben?
I really do. I think bookmarks were a big thing, when browsers weren't as robust as they are. But Craig, I mean, look at Craig. He won't switch browsers because he can't get his bookmarks on the left.
That's right.
Yeah, that's true.
Actually, anywhere.
Heads exploding everywhere.
Yeah. Addison in the chat room says he says it's always available, just one click away, and I agree with him. It's the whole last. It's just. He said Ford has a whole folder of them just for Computer America.
See, I don't need the folder. I just hit new tab, and then I type in COM, and there it is.
Yeah. Now, do you Do you have it so if you accidentally close the browser window, it's going to warn you, say, hey, you have multiple tabs open?
Yeah, I do have that enabled still. I didn't turn that off. I like that.
Turn that off.
That has caught me a couple times too, where it's
Yeah.
come up and said, you're about to close, 14 tabs. I'm like, oh, whoa, I wasn't paying attention. Yeah, no, I've definitely been caught by that.
Good. So that's you definitely if that's your style, you want to make sure you have that option enabled. Like
Yeah.
that.
Well,
And
that
I
off.
guess that's the nice thing is having options for everybody, because everyone's different and has different preferences on it. But
That's what I'm
it'll
saying.
be interesting.
That's what I'm saying. I'm saying there's no one right way. I do it way. You do it. Whatever
I
is
agree.
right for you.
There's no one right way, but there's the rightest way, and that's my way that Craig does not use. So
Exactly. Oh, gosh.
I don't know. Well, and as far as the different browsers go, I think we can all agree it's good that there is such diversity now. I mean, there was a time where you could only use Netscape, and then they kind of fell away, and Internet Explorer ruled the world. I mean, there was a time when Internet Explorer was 99, maybe not 99%, but a very high percentage of users used Internet Explorer. And I think it's good that we have Firefox and Chrome and Safari and Opera and all of these competitors, because then you do get this diversity and you do get new features and you get people actually trying to be creative and trying to improve things instead of just sitting on their laurel and happy that everything is going their way.
Now I have on my desktop. I have Firefox, but I do have Safari and I have Chrome. I have three. I actually have Opera too. I have 4 browsers that I use that I have available or accessible, at a moment's notice. And I'm using Firefox, but once in a while, I'll have problems on a particular site, and I'll realize it's the browser that's causing the problem. So I'll fire up Chrome, or I'll fire up Safari. So
Sure.
you do that too, or do you only have the one?
Oh,
browser?
absolutely. Yeah, no, I use Chrome, personally, I use Chrome probably 95% of the time. Every once in a while I have to hit another browser, especially if I'm doing web development, I might need to look at something else. Sometimes I'll use another browser just to see what a site looks like when you're not logged in. If I'm on a site that I'm logged in as a user, an administrator or something, I want to see it without those cookies in there. And so I use other browsers a lot for that. But on a day-to-day basis, just for surfing, I pretty much just use Chrome.
Now, when did you find yourself going over to Chrome? When did you go over
Good
to
question, because I was Firefox for a long time.
Yeah.
I don't know when that happened. Do you remember when Google ran the advertisements for how much faster Chrome was supposed to be, and they had all these goofy things that showed a short period of time, like they would have water droplets and like the sound. I don't even remember what all it was. Maybe someone in the chat room remembers some of these commercials, but it was right around then, I think, when I was switching over to them.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so
and I don't have any good reason to like Chrome more than Firefox. I think they're both on the same par. I think they're both great.
Yeah, they're up there. They have frequent updates. They're constantly improving. They're running faster and faster. And
for a long time, Firefox had the great advantage of all the other add-ins and plugins you could get for it. You could get it to do just about anything you wanted, and now there's a big marketplace in Chrome as well. But when it first started, that wasn't the case.
You think it's going to be like Ford and Chevy? There's going to be room for at least 2 or 3.
Oh yeah, I certainly hope so.
Yeah, because you realize if if the other 2 fall away, then all that innovation, everything that you talked about, might fall away.
Seen that happen, and that's the other thing that worries me a little bit with Google having so much. Not that they don't innovate, my God, they innovate, and which is part of the reason why they are so popular. But they run freaking everything now. You use the Google Chrome browser or the Chrome notebook, the Chromebook, or to check your Gmail or go to YouTube or to search the internet, or they run everything. I mean, and every website you look at, the ads are through Google. It's I'm exaggerating a little bit, I know, but not much.
Yeah,
not much.
Well, Mike, I got to tell you, time is pretty much up, and we really appreciate you. It was nice that you had some of these. I love that little quiz thing.
I kind of did too. Don't tell Craig, but I might do it again next month.
Yeah, I won't tell.
Well, I think next month, if it's on a Wednesday, Craig will be up against the heavyweight Charles Tendell.
Oh, you're going to be in trouble. I'll have to throw some Mac questions in there.
Yeah, that's coming up to Charles is going to be on Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday, and Ben will be on Monday and Tuesday. That's the new schedule. So, I guess next time.
So Craig won't even get 1 point. He'll just be blown away. Just.
Well, don't tell Charles. Don't give him a heads up. We'll catch him by surprise.
Then he'll have everything. He'll have everything looked up ahead of time. We don't want to.
He'll know all of the internet.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm going through my YouTube here trying to find these Google ads, and I swear they existed, and I'm disappointed that the chat room hasn't found them for me.
Well, I'm sure they'll find it. Hey, Mike, listen, thanks again for being here on the show tonight, and we'll catch you next month, okay?
It's been a lot of fun. Talk to you guys later.
Take care. Bye-bye.
Bye.
All right, coming up in hour 2, we're going to have computer and technology news brought to you by Slimware Utilities, the official optimization software of Computer America, and another news tips bulletin with Marty. We will be right back. Stay with us.
Broadcasting live, it's the only national radio talk show on computers to air every weeknight. Computer America, hosted by national columnist Craig Crossman. The first hour's behind us, but there's still more of tech news, tech talk, and your phone calls. We're being beamed nationwide at ComputerAmerica.com. You got computer problems? Bring them on. You're listening to Computer America. Computers run the world, and we run computers. Call us or send us an email to live@computeramerica.com.
Hello and welcome into hour 2 of the nation's longest-running, nationally syndicated radio talk show on computers. This is the Computer America Show, and I'm your host, Craig Crossman.
I feel dirty. I'm your co-host, Ben. What was that thing right at the very beginning?
What thing?
There was like a sigh in there.
Oh, that was Mike Cermak. He was just before he left.
Oh, that's weird. That's weird.
Okay.
I'm your co-host, Ben.
And Mike Cermak is still in the chat room, by the way. He found what he was looking for, so there it is. So 2010, he found it. That was the year. The commercials. And oh, Ben, why did you sign out? You signed out of the chat room.
Did I? No, I didn't.
You did.
Oh, okay. All right, well, I'm out of the chat room.
Okay. But again, Mike Cermak from TechGuy.org, always here on the first Wednesday Madness of the Month. He's a fun guy, and he used to be our webmaster, but now, of course, we have Wix and
now he's just our tech support guy.
What is that flying in front of your camera? What is that?
That would be a bead. Don't ask.
Bead?
Yeah. So how are you doing, Craig? How's life?
I'm doing fine. Okay. That looks so goofy. If you're not watching our live streaming video, you can go to our ComputerAmerica.com and watch the live streaming video. Brought to you by Otherworld Computing. And, go to MacSales.com to check them out. Of course, you can call us anytime during the computer news portion. At 347-884-8881. You have a comment or question, certainly we can do that. Anyway, so before we get started, anything else you want to talk about? Or should we go right into the computer news? We've got some interesting stories.
Anything else? I should have something to say here, but I really don't. I have a question real quick. Actually, I haven't even checked it. I'm so far out of the loop. I need to start getting back into said loop.
Yes.
The Computer America Facebook page.
Yes, what about it?
Who does the show notes for those?
I do. I put them in there.
How do you do them? Are they just copy-paste of the show notes in the archive?
Yes, pretty much what we have on our show notes page, which I put in there, and then I duplicate them and move them in. You have to do a little fine-tuning because Facebook doesn't do links the way our WordPress does, or show notes does. So I put those in manually, but that's how that happens, yeah. And I do that every single day. So our Facebook page is certainly, which is facebook.com/ComputerAmerica, is certainly up to date.
It's up to date, but it's just copy paste, and I personally don't like it. So I'll be taking over the Computer America Facebook page from now on. You are off the case because you copy pasta. No good.
Well, and I not only copy paste, but I also put the links in there. So there is a.
That's not good enough.
Different link every time.
Everyone remembers the golden era of Ben and the Facebook page.
Okay. Well,
that's gonna come back.
Good. All right. Well, good. All right. You take it over as of when? Tomorrow?
As of tomorrow.
Okay. So we'll start doing that. But I'm still gonna do the show notes. Yes or no?
No. You're still doing the show notes. Show notes are meant to be informative, quick, simple. Get your link, get out, you're done. So,
okay.
But I feel like Facebook should have some character. You know?
That's fine. I'm open. No objection, no problem. Glad that you want to do it. All right, then. If there's nothing else, then I think we'll. Oh, by the way, since there is no live show on Friday, I guess we won't have our show reminder winner until Monday. We'll have the winning name, and of course, if you get our show reminder email newsletter, you'll be the first to find out who the winner is. We won't announce it on the air until Monday, and again, if you don't subscribe to the Computer America show reminder newsletter, you really should do so. It's really simple. Just go to computeramerica.com and just go under our archive page, and you can subscribe to. Actually, excuse me. What you want to do is you go to our where do you go? You go to our chat room contest tech support. No, that's not where it is. It's on our it's on our contest page. You go there, and then you'll see our show reminder winner link with a nice spinning logo, and you click on that, and you put in your first and last name, your email address, click the blue submit button. It'll send you a confirmation email to which you must reply, and once you do, you'll be getting our show reminder delivered fresh and piping hot into your email inbox every Monday morning at 9 a.m. And also, when you do that, you get put into our the list, your subscribers list, and every Friday we draw a winning name from that list of names to win a really nice prize from Logitech. And currently the prize is the T650 rechargeable glass touchpad. Okay, and you can click on it, you can see a picture of it, and you can actually see it as well. And so that winner will be announced on Monday rather than Friday, since we are going to be off the air and doing a best of, because it's the 4th of July. Okay? All right, well then let's do some computer news. Tonight's computer and technology news is brought to you by Slimware Utilities, the official optimization software of Computer America. You can visit them at slimwareutilities.com to clean, speed up, and optimize your Windows system for free. That's right. Everything at the Slimware Utilities website, absolutely free, completely free. No freemium model. No, you get the crippled version. None of that stuff. It's completely free. It will do exactly what I say. They clean, speed up, and optimize your Windows system. They even have their rec image. They have all the backup products. Download them all. Okay, you'll use all of them. You'll be very happy with the results, and you will thank us for it. SlimwareUtilities.com. So the first story from our good buddy over at Maximum PC, Paul Lilly. Bitcoin is gaining ground. It's now accepted at Newegg. Newegg. So, according to this, use those virtual coins you've earned with hardware to, well, buy more hardware. Okay. At the rate things are going, even Russian brides and flux capacitors will rank among the things you can buy with Bitcoin, the cryptocurrency that's had its ups and downs in the media. In the meantime, there are plenty of other things you can buy with the popular virtual currency. You could even build your system with parts bought with Bitcoin currency now that Newegg is accepting it. Newegg has teamed with BitPay to accept Bitcoin payments on its website, which is home to more than 25 million registered customers and over 10.5 million products running the gamut from electronics to household items. Newegg's customers are among some of the earliest Bitcoin miners and are enthusiastic proponents of the cryptocurrency. Adopting Bitcoin as a payment method is another way we're responding to our customers' diverse needs, said Newegg's Chief Marketing Officer for Newegg North America. Working with BitPay to implement a Bitcoin payment option at Newegg was a seamless process, and our partnership gives us the capabilities we require for high-volume e-commerce. So the next time you shop at Newegg, you'll notice the Bitcoin option among the payment methods. If you already have digital wallet software installed, you can complete your order by simply clicking the Pay with Bitcoin button. Look at that. Neat.
Neat.
Yeah, I think it is. I mean, it looks like it's slowly catching on. Right?
Yeah. Now, here's the question, though.
Mm-hmm.
Bitcoin is just simply the most popular of cryptocurrencies.
There are other words. There's Doggy Coin. Yes, exactly.
Dogecoin. There is other types of Bitcoin. There are a lot of them. Just anyone can start their own cryptocurrency because the software's out there, and all they have to do is modify it and create their own ecosystem in which to exchange their coins with. Who was it? MadeSafe.
Yes.
MadeSafe has their own version of Bitcoin.
That's right. SafeCoin.
SafeCoin. Exactly. Yes. So while Bitcoin is just simply the most popular and the biggest that's getting accepted everywhere, is this going to pave the way for other cryptocurrencies, or do you think it's just going to be the one? Like, are we going to have, US dollars and euros and rupees, whatever, or are we just going to have just Bitcoin?
Fort in the chat room says he wants a pay with Craig's Bitcoin button.
Craig's Bitcoin. I don't think Craig has a Bitcoin.
I don't have
it because it would be a weird looking Bitcoin.
Yeah, I don't have a Bitcoin. You know who actually has been dabbling quite heavily in Bitcoins is Charles Tyndall, our co-host.
He lucked himself out. He actually hopped on it early, and I believe he actually acquired quite a number of them, just sat on them.
Yep.
And that's how a lot of people who are rich and flush with Bitcoin right now, that's how they started, because early on you could get thousands of them just by either mining them yourself or doing transactions like, hey, I'll give you a bag of Doritos and you give me 50,000 Bitcoin. So I'll be like, oh, I just earned real life Doritos for Bitcoins. This is awesome.
Yeah.
Of course, now those Bitcoins are worth 2 million, so that's a really expensive bag of Doritos. But it's people who got in early are the ones who are flush with cash.
Yeah.
Which I guess is Charles.
Yep. He likes it. Yeah.
Yep. And I believe it hasn't actually been set up yet, but we are getting a guest on who actually sells Bitcoin mining hardware.
Really?
They're Bitcoin miners that all you do is set them up with your wallet. And if you look at Bitcoin mining, they have to have a wallet, and you plug in this USB device into any router, computer, anything with an internet connection, and it will just up and start mining Bitcoins for you without you having to do anything. I mean, it's just plug and play, and it starts making Bitcoins for you.
Nice.
They said that I think with each USB drive that you get, you'll get about $10 a month in Bitcoins.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, just for something that you plug in and forget about, that's not too bad.
Yeah, not at all.
Especially if Newegg is accepting Bitcoin.
Yeah, well, that's really nice.
Yep. And don't forget Tesla, also accepting Bitcoin, if you ever want a new car, and also SpaceX. And they're, I'm sure, late this year, early next year, they're going to start their space tourism.
Yeah, exactly. Traveling to space.
Yep. So they're going to accept Bitcoin.
Well, it seems to me that technology companies is a logical first choice for the acceptance of this virtual currency, because people who frequent these technology-oriented services are more technologically savvy, and so I think that makes a lot of sense.
Well, I mean, with the Tesla and SpaceX, that's both Elon Musk, and he's a big supporter of Bitcoin. But you're right, it's going to be tech places first. As soon as you see them, we here at Cold Stone's Creamery accept US dollars, gift certificates, and Bitcoin. Please move to the front of the line to get your ice cream. Then Bitcoin's made it.
Yeah.
As soon as Bitcoin branches out from just tech-oriented companies.
Well, when I don't know if you were around at the time, but you may have been, but probably too young to remember. But
technically, I was around since the beginning of time. What's your point?
Yeah, I remember when I was managing a computer store. That was while I was getting my computer science degree and doing the things that I did. And I remember I was at where was I? I was on the road driving, and I saw one of the big roadsides, and I saw for the first time a website, www. whatever the company was, and I said to myself, look at that. I said, I think the internet is coming into its own. The first time I actually saw
on a billboard
being advertised. Yes.
Oh, okay.
Being advertised, and then I said, I think this thing's got a chance. It's going to make it, because here it is. We're now seeing it. It's like phone numbers. We would see phone numbers all the time in advertisements, and now we're seeing websites. And of course now, but I don't care where you see ads. They always say, or just look us up at www. whatever.
Right. They always have a website and a Facebook and a Twitter and a Pinterest and all that kind of stuff.
But you realize the Facebook and Twitter and everything, that's all the internet. My point is that before.
Oh yeah.
This was the beginning of the internet, and to see a website being advertised in a commercial, I said, it's made it. It's here to stay. And
no chance that you remember what it was for?
No, I don't remember.
Okay.
I was driving and I saw it was for, I think it was for a local company of some sort, and it was like a perhaps.
So I guess you saw the .com and you're like, oh, that's it. The internet's a thing.
It is. I said it's here. There's a website, and that's it. So that was and the other thing that I remember also, and now I do remember this. I was at a deli in Florida, very popular one called 2J's, and I was with someone, and I was I was next to a table, and I overheard a conversation. Somebody was talking about what they were doing with their computer and everything, and I said that was the first time I had ever heard any conversation in a public venue. I heard somebody talking about their computer and what they were doing. I said, I think computers are here to stay too. It was the first person I heard somebody else outside of the computer environment talking about that they had their computer and they were doing this and I think they were saying I think what they said they were saying I'm in DOS and I'm trying to get all of this and everything and that was
and
it.
Of course, Craig jumped up and offered to help, but
I was tempted to, but I didn't. No.
Well, I'm sure they appreciate that too. I'm just thinking. Well, Craig Crossman was there for the birth of the internet, as I'm sure many of our listeners were. And to jump in on the ground floor, Craig started a radio talk show about computers.
That's right. Well,
23 years ago.
Yeah, no longer. It's
1991.
1923. Well, actually, that's the national show. A year before that, I'd actually started the first radio show. It was a local radio show on the radio station WJNO, which is a really good in South Florida. And it was on a Sunday, I believe it was, and then it moved to Saturday. But I think it first started on Sundays, and I had a weekend talk show. It was a 2-hour show about computers. And I remember walking into the radio station and talking to the program director. I said, I have a great idea, but you know what? I had already been writing my column for like 2 years in the Miami Herald, which is like one of the top 10 newspaper companies. So I came already armed. I showed them my credentials. I was writing the newspaper column. I said, "But can I do a talk show on computers?" And they said, "Oh, yeah, that's a really great idea." But and so I did that for a year, and then it went national after that. So that's what happened. That's
Birth of Computer America.
That's how
and you've been going strong ever since.
Yes, it is exactly, and we keep going strong. All right, so
hopefully we make it to another 23.
Yes, hopefully you'll take. I guess you'll take over the reins. All right. Well, what's the next story? You do one now.
Okay, next story. Well, speaking of children and young people, this one also from Maxim PC. It's Kudoso. Kudoso router lets kids earn internet time for doing chores. So long gone are the days of giving your kids a nickel or a quarter for doing your chores, or you get a little prize at the end of the week if you earn enough stickers for washing the dishes or taking out the trash. So here the article from Paul Lilly, Maxim PC is a reward-based system for earning internet time. And he starts off, we're a connected society, and if you let your kids run rampant on the internet, they might just spend the whole day out there. There are parental controls that can help make sure little Billy and Susie, old names, aren't spending too much time on the web or visiting sites they shouldn't be. But the Kudoso router that's now on Kickstarter is a first. The Kudoso router lets you assign chores and activities to let your kids unlock internet time on approved sites. Yay, restriction! So, kids earn, and Craig, you cannot get this thing. Kids earn points by doing things that you configure, like brushing their teeth, completing a homework assignment, practicing the flute, and whatever else. Yeah. It's up to you how to configure the goals and how many points each one is worth. You can manage all this at home or from a mobile device. Kudoso uses our custom software installed on a high-speed internet router to manage your family's internet access at the source. By using the router as the controller for allowing content into your home, Kudoso is significantly more effective than traditional solutions that rely on software only. We know our customers value choice, so we'll deliver a 2.0 of Kudoso in 2 formats. The 2 formats will be hardware and software and standalone software. The latter of which will work on supported routers and they have a couple lists here. Most of them are Linksys and and Aces and many of your routers that you are used to. So it's on Kickstarter. Let me go Kickstarter right here. It only has about 100 backers, about 10 grand into a 50 grand goal 22 days ago. But I mean, it's gotten to that point, hasn't it?
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, you can go out and play with your friends and go play hoop and stick and wiffle ball with your friends and go play outside after you wash your hands and do your homework.
Mm-hmm.
Nowadays, it's you can go on Transformers.com after you practice your flute. So rewarding that internet time is really, I guess, the stick for the youth nowadays, isn't it?
It is really, because without the internet, they're lost.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
How are you going to get through life with Google?
Yeah, exactly.
How did you guys get through life without Google? Oh my God. Think about it. I mean, every little thing that happened to me, it's like, I just swallowed the wrong pill, and I just swallowed like 14 of them. What's going to happen? Oh, you're going to be fine. I just Googled it. Oh my God. That's what. I think Google's the reason the mortality rate actually went down in America. Everyone just Googled stuff, and they just stop worrying so much.
Exactly. I'll find it immediately.
Yeah.
Well, last time you find anything, it's the sum total of human knowledge is now pretty much available at Google. You want to find anything?
Google and the internet in general, it's everything's there.
Yes, that's exactly. Well, here's a story. This is kind of interesting because this is from Engadget. We've been talking about this every few months, and we keep saying that we marvel about 3D printing and how wonderful it is. And we talked about 3D organs, but one of the big problems with printing a 3D organ, like your liver or heart, that type of thing, the problem was how to create blood vessels to supply the organ with the necessary oxygen, and that was really very difficult for them to do. They couldn't do it, and basically you would create this vessel, but without the organ, but without the blood vessels, the organ obviously couldn't survive. Well, evidently, scientists have now figured out how to create blood vessels in 3D printed organs. I mean, we are really getting there, where you can actually print out a new heart or a new kidney or something. While 3D printed organs sounds like a great idea, imagine no longer waiting around for a transplant. Now, a major hurdle for printing internal ones thus far has been creating intricate blood vessels and ventricles that are required for the organ to actually, work. Okay. Well, evidently, now a collaboration between scientists from the University of Sydney, Harvard, Stanford, and MIT had discovered a way to do just that. The team used an advanced bioprinter, which is a 3D printer that uses bio materials to print to
print biological printed stuff.
That's exactly those technical terms. An advanced bioprinter to create tiny interconnected fibers and then coated them in human endothelial cells and a protein-based material which hardens under light. They then remove the fibers, and voila, a network of capillaries was born. Lead author in University of Sydney researcher said, while recreating little parts of tissues in the lab is something that we have already been able to do, the possibility of printing three-dimensional tissues with functional blood capillaries in the blink of an eye is a game changer. We can't help but agree. If you want to learn more about 3D printed organs, they actually have a link in this story at Engadget for you to check out. But there it is, Ben. They have now found how to print put all these capillaries to supply blood to the organ that they're 3D printing, and have those capillaries in the organ. I mean, they're almost there.
Otherwise, you had the traditional, they could print 3D printed organs, but you'd have to transplant it into the human body, and then wait for everything to kind of sync back up, for the blood vessels and the blood, all that kind of stuff to develop naturally.
But you can't do that with a heart. Obviously, it has to be a functioning heart. And, and with a kidney, I guess you could do it with one wall, but you'd have to wait all this time. But evidently, with this technology, you won't have to wait. They could literally.
It's I say, it's plug and play.
Literally, almost. I guess what they would use, they would have to use genetically compatible. I guess they would use.
Well, the great thing about 3D printed organs and things like that now, they can actually revert any type of cell back to a stem cell. So they can take a skin cell, they can take cells from whatever organ you have available, and they can actually revert them back to stem cells, and then they can culture cells to use those cells that are cultured from your body to print whatever organ you're trying to get.
Well,
so
those cells would create that biomaterial that it would be used to make the printing.
No, it wouldn't be rejected. It would just be accepted because it's your cells.
Yeah, exactly.
So stories like this. It's just 20 years, 30 years in the future, you're going to be able to print out whatever organ you need that's failing.
Yeah.
In some cases, it could be a kidney, it could be 2 kidneys, it could be 14 kidneys because they go through kidneys like crazy. Kidney.
And you wouldn't have to wait for the transplant to become
exactly. So yeah, it's 3D printed organs. We covered 3D printers and all that kind of thing. Last year, we did a couple good shows on it. I believe you actually wrote a couple articles on on 3D printing.
Yes, I did, but this is obviously taking it to a whole new level.
It's just advancing the technology.
Yeah.
We're all just waiting until you can print out that really tasty ribeye. That's what we're waiting for. Forget the hearts and the eyeballs and all that stuff. We just want a prime rib printed in my kitchen.
There's this. Okay.
Get to work on it, please.
The food replicator.
Exactly.
Okay.
Next story. Here's one. Popular Science. Craig's favorite. This one is should entice Craig and anyone else who is a fan of magnetic levitation.
I love magnetic levitation. I have a magnetic levitation device in my office here.
Yep.
I don't know if you can see it. Let me see if the camera is.
I don't think they can because it's no, it's not tilted the right way.
I can tilt it. Hold on, I'm going to tilt it so it goes. No, it's not there.
No, a little more, and there it is. It's actually if you're looking at Craig's monitor, it's top left. It's Craig. No, he needs to go up with his finger. Up, left. And there. That's where it is.
It's floating right there.
Yeah.
It's spinning, and it's floating.
So anyone watching on our streaming video page, it's Craig has a lot of cool little gadgets, and it's a magnetic levitation device, and it's just sitting there spinning, doing its thing, just floating in midair. It's the magic and mystery of magnets. So we actually have one here, this one from Popular Science, and it's a little bit more powerful than Craig's. Engineers have trapped the strongest ever magnetic field inside a superconductor. The result was a super powerful magnet about 6 times as strong as the magnets found in an MRI machine, about the size of a human thumb.
Wow.
Yeah, that's 6 times the power of an MRI machine, and it's still very, very small. The research is part of an ongoing effort to create superconductor magnets that don't need to be cooled to extreme temperatures. Such magnets could go into flywheels for energy storage, separators for purifying metals or cleaning pollution, and maglev trains, my personal favorite, according to a news item from the University of Cambridge. The researchers involved in making this superconductor came from Cambridge, the National High Magnetic Field Laboratory in Florida. I've never visited, but I kind of want to go there, and the Boeing Company. Yay, Boeing.
Well, the idea here is I guess the holy grail of permanent magnetic superconducting is doing it at room temperature, right? So you can get it because it's still like sub-0 degrees, but they're finding new materials, and I guess as I said, the holy grail is getting it at room temperature at 72 degrees. If they can get it to superconduct this material, that's going to be really something. I don't think they get into how cold it has to be, but
no. This one here is they actually get it to. They actually have to cool this one to near absolute zero, which was negative 273 degrees Celsius. So that's what they need currently for superconductors. But like you said, the holy grail is of course room temperature. These are the kinds of things that you see all the videos of levitation. They have the track, and then they have the magnet sitting in liquid nitrogen, and then they have it and they push it along the track, and it just kind of levitates. And whenever you think future, you think levitation. So That, like you said, again, would be the big challenge and the big goal. But as of right now, they don't have it. It's all absolute zero. But it is the strongest at 17.6 Teslas, and it's pretty powerful.
All right. Coming up, we have more news stories that we're going to be talking about, including no, that was the one. Oh yes, Amazon refuses to bend to the FTC's demands over in-app purchases, and Samsung's last year for making plasma TVs. Those stories and more coming up. Stay with us.
This is a special alert to all Americans who own a vehicle with less than 120,000 miles with an auto warranty about to expire or no warranty coverage at all. Due to a decline in the economy and major car companies filing for bankruptcy, Cover America Auto Care has announced revolutionary, inexpensive mechanical breakdown coverage that is now available to the general public to save consumers thousands on auto repairs. An open phone line has been established for drivers to call who own a vehicle that is less than 10 years old for a free 5-minute quote and to see if you qualify. The number is 800-483-2514. Drivers who are covered with this auto protection will not have to pay for a covered repair again. This is the auto coverage now sweeping across America at a fraction of what dealerships charge and is now available to the public by calling today. The number to call is 800-483-2514. 800-483-2514. That's 800-483-2514.
Don't complain about your cable bill going up and up and up. Do something about it. Grab a pencil and jot down this special number, 1-866-663-MY-TV. The more cable TV rates go up, the better digital satellite TV looks. So, disable the cable and get more of your favorite channels in 100% digital quality for less money. Call 1-866-663-MY-TV right now to sign up for packages starting as low as $19.99 and up to 4 rooms. And there's no equipment to buy. And your free professional installation and pristine digital picture and sound. Call 1-866-663-MY-TV. So, what are you waiting for? Pull out your major credit or debit card. Call 1-866-663-MY-TV. 1-866-663-MY-TV. Disable the cable, cut costs, and get more. Call 1-866-663-MY-TV. 1-866-663-MY-TV.
Hi, this is Marty Winston with a News Tips Bulletin Review for Computer America. This time, it's the Apricorn Aegis Padlock DT Drive. Apricorn has long been one of the cleverest added value hard drive companies and very well tuned to the needs for security in a hard drive. Their brand new Aegis Padlock DT is another star in that galaxy. We got in the 4 terabyte version of this USB 3 treasure in a well-locked box. Our wall wart powers it, but powering doesn't get you anywhere. The keypad on the top is your entry. You need to enter a user set code, 7 to 16 digits long. Tick, 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 tick. But it's not easy to cheat. There's no access until you enter the code. It has 3 defenses against brute force crack attack, up to and including boom, a data self-destruct, plus timing attack defenses. When it comes to the data on the drive being hardware encrypted, let's run the alphabet soup. They've got FIPS 140-2 validation, XTS AES 256 bits. It is solid. And the case has a physical lock slot. When the drive's inactive for a while, it automatically reverts to locked and needs to have its unlock code entered again. If you never store proprietary data or sensitive information or anything that would get you into trouble if you were to post it on a public chalkboard, this may not be something you need. But if that's not the case, just how safe are your removable drives? Bottom line, whether you're driven by morality or liability or regulatory mandates, there's an extreme level of unauthorized access protection now available in high-speed Apricorn Aegis Padlock DT drives. This is Marty Winston with a News Tips Bulletin Review for Computer America.
Welcome back to the Computer America Show. It is 34 minutes past the hour. and another great segment by Mari Winston. And yeah, eventually, oh, Craig's back. Never mind, we're good there. And you know, we do pay attention to the chat room, and it's always great fun because we have great listeners. And one of them just linked something I think Craig just had a little panic attack warning.
Well, no, I've seen it before, and I think I am going to get, because it wasn't accessible, and evidently now this company that we're looking at here now makes it available, and I think it would look very nice in our home. So definitely going to check this out.
For those of you who don't know what it is, it's a two-part levitating lamp that uses magnets. Since we were just talking about magnetic levitation.
Yeah, exactly. So the one that I have is without the lamp, but it levitates and you can put things on it. But that is very cool.
Looks like a little hockey puck. So yeah, we are still doing computer and technology news. Just did the one about the superconductors, and you know, they're getting more powerful, although still need to be pretty close to absolute zero, which isn't, you know, very feasible or practical. But you know, they're making headway, just like 3D printers. So just have to wait.
Yeah. All right. Well, this story from Engadget, evidently, according to this story, which came out about 5 hours ago, Samsung, this is their last year making plasma TVs. Wow. Samsung made some really nice televisions, but evidently, if you've been flirting with buying a new plasma TV, now's the time, because Samsung SDI has announced that it stopped production of plasma display panels later this year. Samsung's reasons for abandoning the technology is low demand and declining profits. Wow. Of course, the real culprit is likely an increasing focus on 4K and an inability to manufacture higher res plasma sets for the mass market. It isn't clear how long the company's remaining plasma sets will remain on the market, but evidently plasma is going bye-bye. You know, but I think its time has come. I mean, my first flat screen then was a plasma screen, but I don't think the plasma can't compete with the LED and LCD technology that's being used today. I don't think anyone...
No, plasma's good. Plasma reigns king. Plasma is better than LCD.
Well, but you know, evidently they don't think that. At least not at Samsung.
Well, that's not true. But I mean, if plasmas are still good, so if you're looking to buy a rather large television, you know, for pretty cheap, they make very, very big plasmas. So I'm being shocked like crazy. Making very, very, very big plasmas. So if they're getting rid of it and they're not making any more, they want to get rid of their inventory. Look for sales on plasmas coming up by the end of the year.
Yeah, exactly.
Very easy.
It's not that flat screens. Remember, I'm not saying flat screens are going. No, by no means. The flat screens are here to stay.
No, plasmas.
Plasma, which was the first flat screen technology to come out, by the way, is now basically going bye-bye because of other technologies that are replacing that aging technology. And like,
I mean, LCD was always, you know, just that little bit better, but
yeah,
and of course there were people who always argued, you know, black or blacks, white or whites, all that kind of thing. But
yeah, LED and LCD TVs are the two reigning supreme technologies, whereas plasma is basically, at least with Samsung, I think its time is coming to go, because the other technologies that we see here today are just so much better, especially with the newer higher resolutions, like, you know, as I said, 4K and things that are coming out.
Yeah.
All right. So you know, say goodbye to the plasma.
Well, at least by the end of the year. They're not done yet.
Okay.
So next story, this one from Time. And this one was a little bit off, because this one was about now you can be the person who brews Apple's coffee. Apple, who makes the iPod, by the way, not Apple as in the fruit. Proof that every position at Apple starts with the letter I. So if you're looking to work at Apple but you don't have a degree in computer science, then there may still be hope. You could apply to be an iCup technician. The job summary in the jobs listing app on the Apple site, posted June 28th, 2014, so, you know, just a couple days ago, says the Apple iCup service is specially designed to provide a fresh brew coffee to all Apple employees within their department. So applicants may not have to code for the position, but they should have some computer skills. The ideal person for this is 40 hours a week job in Santa Clara Valley, California. Would also have prior experience working with coffee machines, of course, and be someone who continually grows in knowledge, because I guess there's a lot of different kinds of coffee you need to know about. So can't wait to see how many applicants start their cover letters with I brew.
I brew. That's it. Therefore, I want the job. I brew. Therefore,
but yeah, you see this a lot in tech companies, especially where they're a little bit offbeat, a little bit quirky. They have the flexibility to be fun, unlike hospitals, lawyer offices, things like that. Especially with Google. Google has just funny little quirks about them all over the place, especially in their own offices. So Apple does this. I'm sure Yahoo has this all over the place. Google, just tech companies are a little more offbeat than your average position.
Yeah.
So I thought that was funny.
Yeah. No. Exactly. Okay. So let's go. Google has something called Smarty Pins. Google Smarty Pins turns maps into a game that tests your trivia and geography skills. So geography fans, take note. Google has laid down the cartographical gauntlet. Google recently introduced a Google Maps based game called Smarty Pins that pits your knowledge of global geography against time and Google's endless pot of knowledge. To answer the question correctly, you must drop a Google Maps pin on the correct location. That's how you answer. So questions range from simple ones like, where does Vladimir Putin run his government? You know the answer to that one, Ben?
Kalashnikov. Oh, no, that's not right. I don't know.
To more challenging ones like the modern city successor to Lutetia, which would be, hint, the Eiffel Tower. That would be France. France.
Uzbekistan.
The point system is based on miles or kilometers, depending on your location. You start out with 1,000 miles, get the answer right, and you keep your miles. And if you answer correctly fast enough, you'll earn bonus miles. The game also lets you earn bronze, silver, and gold pins as you correctly answer questions. Get a question wrong, however, and you lose miles based on how far away your pin is from the correct answer. Now, if you run out of miles, your game will not only be over, but you'll make Pegman cry. How could you?
Aww.
If you just start a game, Google will select random questions from a variety of categories, including arts and culture, science and geography, sports and games, entertainment, history, and current events. There's also a featured topics category that currently includes questions about March Madness and the World Cup. For anyone worried about their sports and history trivia chops, you can choose a game based solely on one of the above categories. Now, to get started, Google jumps to the general location of the answer, but it's up to you to drop your pin in the right place. Depending on the question, the answer could be country, city, or even a neighborhood. It's a fun, fast-paced game for anyone who loves maps. Once you've proven you've got Smarty Pins, you can boast of your victories on Facebook, Google+, and Twitter. This is a cool little game, and at the same time, you learn stuff. That's nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think I would lose immediately.
Why?
Like, they would ask me something, and I'd either choose the wrong America, or I'd do Indochina, and it's like, oh yeah, no, that's in Iceland. Like, oh my god. Like you only get 1,000 miles. I would need something like, I don't even know the entire circumference of the Earth, but I'd probably need 5, 6, 7,000 miles just to stay in the game.
Okay.
I'm not good with geography. Is what I'm getting at.
I'm getting that. Yes, exactly. Okay. But you could become good at geography with this game. You could start learning stuff.
Yeah, but who has the time? Who has the time to travel? Who has the time?
Right, you need that World of Warcraft time.
I know, and it's so hard to squeeze it in. Yep. Another one. This article is, it's a thing. This one is from Wire.com, and it's finally happened, I guess. It's the harbinger of things to come. Online ads make more money for networks than traditional TV.
Look at that. Who would have thought?
I know. So, article goes on to say, if you're sick of ads interrupting your viewing experience every time you stream TV shows online, here's some bad news. They're not going away anytime soon. Quote, we actually make more money per viewer streaming than we do on television. CBS Corporate Chief Research Officer revealed at the 2014 Media and Entertainment Industry Forum in New York. If you stream our programming online, you're seeing a full complement of advertising. You can't bypass it. Poltrick estimates that CBS, which streams shows like The Big Bang Theory, love it, The Good Housewife, never seen it, on the web, makes somewhere between 10 and 20% more ad revenue per viewer online than on television, and expects that the number to increase. Demand for online video is through the roof, he explained. It helps that, according to studies commissioned by the CBS, viewers are actually watching more television than they used to. It's just that more and more of it is being watched online versus through traditional TV. So, in December 2013, they say 28% of those asked said that they were watching more TV compared to just 17% that were watching less, and 55% that it was roughly the same. Which makes sense. I mean, the more mobile devices and the more devices you have, you're going to watch TV, on your smartphone, tablet, what have you, instead of just TV. So, this doesn't mean that traditional TV advertising is soon to be the thing of the past. Ad spending on television is expected to continue to grow this year and still dwarfs digital video ad spending 10 to 1. But for now, you can be confident that each and every time you have to watch Samuel L. Jackson ask what's in your wallet, you're doing your bit, however reluctantly, to help programmers slip into and monetize the digital future. It's a coming of age.
Do you think that ads on digital TV and everything? I mean, what do you think when you go into a movie and you pay down $8 or $10 on a movie and you see ads before the movie starts?
See, those are you're able to completely bypass those by arriving at the right time. Because I'm assuming you're talking about the little presentation they have before they even show the previews.
Right.
So I mean, those you can completely kind of avoid. Now online, because we're such a culture of get it. Online, they make you stop and watch commercials, and it seems like on TV it's kind of regulated to the point where you have a commercial at about every 10 minutes on TV. I mean, 15 years ago it was every 15 minutes you'd get ads, but nowadays it's every 10 minutes. And then even on some, you get about maybe 4 commercial breaks per 30-minute show. So that's even more common.
Where would you draw the line? What if you were watching a movie, Ben, and in the middle of the movie they pause and then you see a commercial, which you haven't done? Would that incense you?
I think movies are going to be safe. Movies are safe in the fact that advertising for them is going to involve product placement. You know what I mean? In whatever new Transformers movie and whatever new big blockbuster they have, Avatar 2, there's going to be a Pepsi can sitting there in the corner. There's going to be a Bud Light that everyone's drinking. There's there's going to be product placement, and I think while it's a little bit more subliminal and not in your face, I think that's more accepted as a non-intrusive way of advertising.
Okay.
Now, as to online, that is just going to make me even more mad because I hate it when every 5 minutes they break for commercials and then you can't skip it. And you have to sit there and you watch it.
It used to be you could skip it, but now they're getting the program's getting more and more clever. You can't skip them anymore.
I mean, TV got a lot better as soon as DVR came out because that's time shifting.
Yes.
And with time shifting, you really aren't watching TV commercials anymore. At least most people aren't.
You can skip over them. Of
course. Because rarely nowadays, be it it's only about a sporting event or news that you really watch live. Everything else is pretty much time shifted. You don't watch live TV anymore. Whereas online, you know it's not live. I mean, it's just streaming from somewhere else, unless it's otherwise, kind of said it's live.
And they still make you watch the commercials.
And they still make you watch the commercials. That's where TV is actually ahead of online.
Mm-hmm.
And of course you got things like ad blocker and and other mirror sites that wouldn't make you watch the commercials.
I'll tell you, I use ad blocker on one of those networks. It's no deal. I mean, they said you turn off your ad blocker or you can't watch the content.
Yeah, they're doing that now as well. If you try to block their ads because you feel like 2 or 3 every 5 minutes is a bit extreme, no deal. You don't get to use their service.
Yeah, but now they're becoming more savvy, and you go on, you have ad blocker. They as I said, they won't let you use ad blocker, or they won't show you the content, which and I guess it's an ongoing battle because I know that folks at ad blocker are probably aware of that and are trying to overcome the blockage of the blockage. No.
Oh yeah, no, it's one of those things where internet's the future, but I think internet has a ways to go because DVR kind of turn TV on it, turn TV more futuristic than the internet because with the internet you can't skip past the ads. And of course, you don't always want to skip past the ads. I mean, the ads serve their purpose. It's just excessive ads that I think streaming television, I think that's their biggest problem is excessive ads. They have ads every 5, 6, 7 minutes that are 2 to 3 minutes long every time.
Isn't excessive though in the mind of the viewer? I mean, one person might not think excessive is one thing, and somebody else might think excessive is a different time interval.
I think everyone will pretty much come to the same conclusion that 3 minutes of ads every 6, 7 minutes, that's going to be excessive. If you keep getting taken out of your show, or wherever you're trying to watch, and you keep getting it taken out by these ads, you're not going to enjoy, and therefore you're not going to use their service.
You not watch it that way, exactly.
Yeah. So it's that battle. We're in the early stages of it. It's excessive right now. Before with ad block and before when TV streaming was just another little feature, there was no ads, and that's unacceptable because how else are they going to make money to provide the programming that you so enjoy? But there's a middle ground between excessive and none,
Sometimes they'll come up and say this TV show is brought to you with limited commercial interruptions, and they might give you like 5 or 6 minutes of commercials at the beginning, and then that's it. You don't see it,
Some of the movie channels do that, not the premium ones, but just the primetime cable movie channels. They'll do that, limited commercial interruption, and you'll know there's going to be 2 or 3 in a 2-hour movie, and they're going to be about 6, 7 minutes long each commercial break, but there's only 2 or 3 of them. So again, there's a middle ground that I think they have to find.
Exactly, I agree. Okay, so where are we?
Your turn to pick a story.
It is my turn to pick the story. We talked about this technology. Actually, I want to do the Amazon one. We talked about that the FTC demands about over in-app purchases, and evidently they want Amazon to update some of its policies regarding these in-app purchases, but evidently that Amazon is having none of it. According to documents obtained by the Wall Street Journal, Amazon is facing a lawsuit that would require it to pay hefty fines and dramatically alter its record-keeping and disclosure practices. In particular, the government is concerned about purchases being made by children, but Amazon thinks its approach is sound. In fact, not only is Amazon refusing to change its rules, it said in a letter that it's prepared to go to court. See, the FCC wants Amazon to require passwords for all in-app purchases, make notices of additional charges more obvious, and simplify the refund process. Those are rules similar to what Apple was forced to agree to last year. After receiving thousands of complaints from parents whose children racked up unauthorized charges via in-app purchases, it's no surprise that the agency decided to target Amazon. Why not? The company claims it has handed out prompt refunds to customers who have complained, but it seems that it wasn't until June that all in-app purchases required any form of authentication. Amazon may be ready to take its battle to court, but the FTC has already made Apple bend to its will. What do you think?
I mean, if Apple has to do it, I think, Apple has the money and Apple has the willpower to fight off anything that would be considered just, pointless. So, I mean, if Apple does it, I'm not saying it has to be done by everyone else, but if Apple can't fight it, I don't know why Amazon would try to fight it. And I actually like, authentication with in-app purchases. That saves you from a lot of headache sometimes. And I don't have a kid, but I have heard stories of, buying $1,500 worth of Smurf berries because it's just so easy for kids to get their hands on it and tap their way to a huge phone bill. So, I mean, authentication, usually a good thing, and if they make it easy like Apple does, with the Touch ID, I don't see a problem with it.
I'm just looking at some of the user comments about this story. It says, one guy says, what moron gives a little kid a phone connected to a live credit card? Amazon, you need to sell me junk and do my parenting for me. Okay.
Pretty much. It happens where, you want to keep your kid entertained, so here's a tablet, here's a smartphone. You had to go through whatever app store you're using to get that, to get the program, and therefore all of your, payment information is already saved in there just because it's your device. Yeah. So it doesn't take much for a kid, without the proper programming to, tap his way into big trouble.
Here's another comment. I hope Amazon wins. The government is being too overbearing with this one. If you don't want to follow Amazon's rules, don't get involved with Amazon. You don't walk into someone's house and tell them what to do, just as you don't walk into someone's business and force them to run it your way, so you don't have to do something you don't do something stupid.
See, but then again, that's the catch-22. That's where people would intentionally make apps on phones and devices that would trick you. That would trick you into spending a lot of money. Like they would have, like they would tell you, tap the ball to make it bounce, and then like you'd be tapping the ball, and then all of a sudden it would flash up, and it would say, would you like to charge $1,000 to your card, through the in-app purchase, and you'd be tapping the ball, and then you hit OK because that's exactly where they know you're touching. They have sleazy things like that. They have purchases that just appeal to kids, where only kids would actually do that, and kids they don't realize what they're doing, and of course they get taken for a spin. So I mean, is it Amazon's job to police all these apps, or is it Amazon's job to make it so these apps are hard to use? Either way, Amazon's is going to have to do something, and Apple already fought this fight, and Apple is going with, the more authentication you do, the better, than it is to try to police the entire creative domain.
Yeah.
So it's not that Apple has, it's not that Amazon, is wrong in this one. It's just, for the safety of all and the sanity of all. Because the Federal Trade Commission gets complaints about this every year, I'm sure hundreds of thousands, and I'm sure Amazon gets complaints in the hundreds of thousands every year. It's just what they're doing to mitigate this problem that is known. They're not trying to take parenting away from anyone. They're not trying to tell anyone how to run their business. It's just, it's a problem, and they're trying to fix it in the best way they see. Is my rant.
Okay, all right.
As far, that's just what I think, though.
Okay.
And what do I know?
Yeah,
I'm a smart-nosed kid.
Yeah. Hey, you're co-host of Computer America. You're entitled to an opinion.
Yeah, I know. I fell into this position.
Yeah,
I'm so unqualified. Whatever.
Tomorrow night, we've got an interesting show. We're going to have Spoonit.com on the program, and this is evidently a brand new search engine. Okay, now we got Google out there, and
90 seconds.
But evidently, Spoonit's goal is to organize the world's information and optimize its accessibility and shareability. The Spoonit founder calls it Simformation. Well, it's a unique worldwide web indexing system and search engine allows users to optimally access and share information across various platforms and mediums.
60
I'm not sure what the difference is between this and Google, but you know what? We're going to have the companies founder and CEO Morgan Osborne is going to be with us tomorrow night in the first hour, and we're going to find out more. I understand that Computer America is also already registered at Spoonet.com, so they're on the right track. Of course, coming up in hour 2, computer and technology news brought to you by Slimware Utilities, and that will be it for the week. Because then Friday, the 4th of July holiday, and then we'll be back.
And we'll be cooking all day.
Yes, we will, and all night too, and then some. So we'll see you tomorrow night. Hopefully you'll be here with us too. So until tomorrow night, this is Craig Crossman hoping that your hard disk never becomes floppy. We'll see you tomorrow night.
10
Good night, everyone.
Thank you for using Blog Talk Radio. Goodbye.
All right, so we are out, and everybody, thanks so much for watching us on our live streaming video page brought to you by Otherworld Computing. And Ben and I will be back tomorrow. And let me say goodbye, everybody in the chat room. See you tomorrow.
Cooking with fireworks, that's an idea.
Yeah.
Might try that one.
What? Cooking with fireworks?
Oh yeah, a couple Roman candles, a flank steak, just shooting fireworks at it until it, that medium rare goodness.
Exactly.
Good work.
All right, well, we'll all see you tomorrow, and have a good one, and we'll be back same bat time, same bat channel. All right? Bye. Say goodnight.
Good night.